Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
With all the coronavirus lockup, do not call the police on suspicious people in your neighborhood. Those are your neighbors without makeup and hair extensions. Gotta laugh a little bit. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a real-life patriot with a Pledge of Allegiance. Come on, patriots. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And a good morning to you and yours. I'm Zeb Bell. On this Thursday, May 14th, we're going to be over at Denny's parking lot today for the big parking lot picnic at 11:30. Don't forget that. As I start the program off by choking to death, I'm sorry. Our program major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. That cough drop was good. And, of course, all 7 locations are open and serving you with a very safe, clean environment and the best in tires. Don't forget your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And, of course, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. And right now, let's go to the phone line and our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Randy, I appreciate you calling in. It's always a treat to have you do the pledge, and I know you do it with great sincerity. Thank you, my friend. Call back a little later, and don't make it right at the end of the hour so I can talk to you for a little bit, okay?
You know, it's good for your soul. I think a lot of people need to do this that don't.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'll be back.
God bless. Thank you. Right now, time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by K&R Rental. I'm telling you, Roger and the crew are the nicest doggone people, and they throw the doors open at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're ready for spring and summer. Let me tell you, they're ready with all the tools, all the equipment for your gardens and your lawns and all the rototillers and all the power rakes. Oh, they got it all for you, both long and short-term rental. Better get a hold of them today. K&R Rental at 2. I bit my tongue. It's been a bad morning so far with the cough drop in the tongue. 256 South, 600 West of Heyburn on the Burley-Paul Highway. 678-3122. K&R Rental. Here's Gina with the weather. Here's Gina with the weather. Wheels.
For some reason, it's not playing this morning, sir, so
I love the equipment over there. I just love the equipment. All right. Let me know the minute you get that weather back, all right? Yes. And, of course, our weather being brought to you, even though it doesn't look like we're going to have it on tape this morning, I would like to remind you I'm going to do a quick search right here, and I think I can help a little bit on the weather. It's going to be mostly cloudy today, I believe, with highs around, 60 degrees or whatever, and the chance of rain about 10%. We'll see what happens. Right now, currently outside the studio, we got 46 degrees, and our weather brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 West of Heyburn on the Burley-Paul Highway, 678-3122. Caller, I'll be right there. I want to remind everybody about our dear friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Yes, they get there early in the morning at 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. And it's no bragging at all. It's a fact. They have all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. Don't forget, we're coming into air conditioning season. They've got all the filters for your air conditioning units, everything, and the knowledge to go and fix everything. So you be sure and give them a call. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, 678-0459. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. China seems to have infiltrated just about every industry in this country. What's concerning me is how much of the farmland have they bought into in this country. And
well,
they have. I know they have.
Well, I know they have too, and for me to sit here and give you exact amount of acreages and the where and how many farms or ranches or whatever, Tony, I can't do that, and you kind of put me on the spot a little bit to give you that information right off the top of my head because I don't have it. I don't think anybody would. However, I think it's absolutely dangerous that we are selling our soul to the company store, and the company store happens to be China, whether it's our medical preparation with all of our pills, etc. We're giving them that business. We're basically giving them our soul, and it's time to take it back.
Well, I was kind of curious of which administration would do something like this, allow the taking over of our country like it has been. It's a good thing we've got Donald Trump out there, and although we've got all these saboteurs in the Democratic Party trying to get rid of him, if it wasn't for him, this country would have been gone.
Well, and there's every opportunity that if the American public doesn't wake up and smell the coffee in November and they put somebody as absolutely totally out of the picture, Joe Biden or any one of the Democrats. I don't care if he has a running mate of Michelle Obama or if he picks Andrew Cuomo. It doesn't make any difference. We are in deep trouble. And to think that he would even think about, and he did yesterday, come out and say that his energy secretary and guru on climate change would be the bartender, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You were right when you first said it. We're in trouble.
Oh, God. This girl has had to, she's an enemy infiltrator. As far as I'm concerned, maybe she is an enemy agent, trained somewhere else to come in here and try to destroy our country.
Well, she's not the only one. You can talk about Rashida Tlaib, you can talk about Ilhan Omar, anybody, I'll tell you. Tony, I always appreciate your call. Stay safe, give your Mary a great big kiss this morning, and have another cup of coffee, and stay tuned.
I certainly will. Thank you, Zach.
All right, buddy. Caller, I'll be right there. I want to remind everybody about Dino Septic Service. You know they're the best. They are. And there's no bones about it. Fast, fair, friendly service, and they do the job nobody else wants to do. I'm telling you, you don't want to be out there pumping a septic tank or taking care of liquid waste removal or sewer and sink drain lines clean. No, they do it, and with a smile on their face. Dino's Septic Service, fast, fair, friendly service at 436-6526 or 678-1638. They are the best at what they do. Pull in the yard with a great big truck that says Smiles Cargo on the way to serve you. Dino's Septic Service. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I am upset this morning because I was watching KMVT and they were reporting these so-called new cases of the virus, and they named, I think, Cassia County with 16 and Mendocino with 15 new cases. Let's get real. I don't think that this is factual. I think these numbers are being skewed. And how do you fight against something you can't see?
Well,
My goodness.
It's funny you should call on this morning. I am not a doctor. I am not any part of medicine. However, I stayed at a Holiday Inn more than once, and I've been in the hospital for a large portion of my life. I will say this, and I agree with your concept and thoughts on this morning, because I want to know how all these cases are like coming into the hospital overnight and bona fide coronavirus cases. I mean, we really haven't had anybody in the media, doctors, nurses, etc., really explain that. Oh, Joe Smith walked through the door, he's a coronavirus case. I mean, I'm going to do some more research on this, and I'm going to get some people on the air, and we're going to find out more about it. As a matter of fact, I've got one that can maybe explain it at 8:30 this morning, even though we're going to be talking about the May 19th primary, and that's Representative Fred Wood, who is a doctor, and I am going to ask him that question. So, Keith, I respect your thoughts on this. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd like to add just one thing, Zeb. Why can't we know the person who's reporting this? You know, this Privacy Act is getting out of hand.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay.
My neighbor next door has it. I would like to know.
Yeah.
Isn't that fair?
Well, these are all things that I'm going to ask him about, and we are not going to have a lot of time, but I'm going to do the best I can in the short time that we have. But, you bring up a good point that I thought about last night, too, watching the news. I mean, we're hearing about the 37 cases here, 44 cases here, outbreak over here. Wait a minute. I mean, are these people specifically going in and being checked at the emergency room and or being found out to have the COVID-19? Or are they going through maybe the system of allergies in the springtime, and then all of a sudden that may be listed as a COVID-19 case? We already know that on the national, and I hate to sound this way because it sounds so callous, on the national death toll, a lot of the numbers were, to use your word, skewed and really didn't have an affiliation with the coronavirus.
The only one that's been reported in Cassia County is the lady that was 98 years old, and they haven't even really said in the obituary or anything that that's what she died from. But who else died that had it?
Well,
I don't even know.
Yeah, we've got, I think we need to be much more definitive in the answers that are given to us. And some of the answers that are given just aren't worth a bucket with a hole in it. Keith, God bless you, man. I'm glad you and I are on the same brainwave. Thank you very much.
It's out there in your corral.
All right. I know what you mean. Thank you. Have a good day. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, I got to go through some of these great people that are helping put us on the air, and I relish these folks and urge you to stop in and do business with them. They had the guts and the glory to say we're going to keep on rolling, and I love them. Doug's Alternator and Starter Repair. It's for sale. 635 21st Street in Heyburn. Number to call, 878-4991. Doug is a super guy that just said, you know what? I'm tired. I want to spend a little time with me on my projects and also some really good love time with my wife. And so he's selling the business. Absolutely, it's a great business opportunity. Turnkey business. It's all ready for you. Please call Doug at Doug's Alternator and Starter Repair at 635 21st Street in Heyburn, 878-4991 or 431-5282. You better believe it. And also, Kent McClelland is running again for Minidoka County Commissioner, and he wants your vote. Now, we're doing everything in this primary election by the mail-in ballot. If you haven't got your ballot, you better get Johnny on the stick and go ahead and get that ballot. You can go to idahovotes.gov, or you can call your county clerk right now, absolutely, over in Minidoka County, the number 436-9511. Kent McClelland for Minidoka County Commissioner. 10 years as Minidoka County Commissioner. He knows, he cares, and he gets the job done. I urge you to remember that name, Kent McClelland for Minidoka County Commissioner, this May 19th primary. Vote in by mail. Don't forget, paid for by John A. Burt Stevenson. All right, calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Wheels, if you would, my friend, please play the May 19th primary.
Be sure to mail in your May 19th primary election ballots. Here's Speaker of the House, Scott Bedke.
The primary election on May 19th is quickly approaching. You should all have received a ballot request form in the mail. Fill it out and send it in. Then you will get the official ballot back to you in the mail. Read the directions carefully and fill it out. Put it in the envelope, and don't forget to sign the envelope and send it in. It's just that easy. Paid for by Bedkeeper, Idaho.
Thank you very much, Scott. Appreciate it. You know, Joe Biden says that he is winning by staying in the basement at home, which I think is a lot of barnyard material on the ground. And some very questionable polls. I said this a week ago, and I'm going to maintain this. I took a little criticism on myself on some of the calls. And what do you know about polls? Well, I know that a lot of polls are fraudulent, fake, and not worth anything more than, like I mentioned, that barnyard material in my little feedlot. How in the world can a guy that's sitting in the basement, and I'm going to be very blunt here, if it offends you, that's your problem, not mine. A man that's sitting in the basement with the onslaught of dementia, can't even put four constructive sentences together for a bona fide thought, can't remember what he had for breakfast this morning, let alone what took place in the news yesterday, run for president and be in the lead in some of the battleground states against the President of the United States. What has he got to offer? That's the question. What has he got to offer? Not one doggone thing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have a clue. They asked him a question about his unmasking of the list of names, especially General Flynn. Well, I didn't. I don't remember. No, I didn't think I had anything to. Well, yes, I did have that inquiry. Oh, come on, Joe. Give it up. Wave the white flag. But as long as he's involved, then yesterday he came out and said that he would name the bartender, a silly little stupid girl, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as his climate change and energy advisor. And she is going to lead the charge on crafting an energy plan for America. I'm going to get ready to rent a cave someplace up in the South Hills. I'm going to start searching for a cave that is fairly close to a water supply, boil the water. I'm telling you, with this kind of outlook on politics, Joe Biden as president and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as an energy advisor? Oh, boy. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Today is the day. At 11:30 this morning, we're going to gallop, and I mean I'm going to gallop, over to Denny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley for the first parking lot picnic. It's going to be fun. We want you to be there. You just drive in. It's going to be so dadgum simple. You drive in, get a parking spot, and they'll come out, and they'll say, you want the special for the parking lot picnic? You say yes. It's a club sandwich and fries and a fountain drink, and just enjoy. We're all going to have the same thing. It's a parking lot picnic to help support Thomas and Michelle and the crew at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. For heaven's sakes, 11:30 to 1, you can take a little time and come on by. I'll drive in. We'll be honking the horns at each other. Everybody stays in their pick-em-up or a car, and it's going to be a lot of fun, okay? And I want to thank Penny Main, too, at the Chamber of Commerce for helping us promote this, and it's going to be today at 11:30 to 1 at Denny's Restaurant. There's also some big doings going on this Saturday at the Larry and Carlene Hathaway semi-retirement auction that the Bennett Boys Auction Service is putting on. It's going to be at 11 o'clock on Saturday, May 16th in Shoshone, 620 North, 200 West. You can't miss it. Look for the auction signs. Lunch available on the grounds. Tractors, trucks, pickups, farm equipment, hay equipment like a New Holland harrow bed, hay stacker. They've got old collectibles. They got all kinds of miscellaneous items. It's going to be this Saturday, May 16th at 11 o'clock. Larry and Carlene Hathaway semi-retirement auction managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys sell them all. Absolutely. All right, calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I said a couple of weeks ago, and I had some friends of mine say they're going to hold me to it. That's fine. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I said by June 15th, I think that Joe Biden would be in the basement permanently, working on birdhouses or whatever. I will stand by that. I think we are a month away from seeing Joe somehow removed from the media focus and spotlight of him being the Democratic nominee. I think a lot of Democrats, some of which are coming out and showing their faces, some of which, of course, displaying the party creed of being cowards, are saying that they don't want Joe to run because it's going to be a slam dunk for Donald Trump. Well, I hope it is. I hope Joe stays in the race, really. I hope that I'm wrong about his closing the book by June 15th. But who are they going to draft? This is the scary part. Some of the Democrats behind the scenes, and when you call to some of the people in Washington, D.C., you know, they're talking about a drafting of maybe Andrew Cuomo or Michelle Obama or, oh boy, this name scares me to say it on the air, Hillary or Bernie or Elizabeth Warren. Who are you going to draft at this late stage? Caller, good morning. Quickly, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning. You know, how can we get a fair analysis of anything when it has already been decided, supposedly? Now, let's take you, for instance. You could not even get a job at KMVT because they're CBS affiliated, and you have to be one of them to be able to work there.
Yeah, wait a minute. Stop. You're not making any sense to me, my friend. Our news on this network station is CBS. So what's your point?
Well, I'm saying you got to be a liberal Democrat to be able to get a job.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, what I'm also going to say is I wouldn't have any inkling to want to work for KMVT. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm not going to go into in regards to their station, their production, their presentation of the news, etc. So I see your point. I'm not liberal, will never be liberal. I'm very conservative, proud of it, redneck conservative, and I'm going to stay that way.
Well, I am too, but unless you go to work for Fox, you could even get a job.
Well, yeah, but I'm very happy doing what I'm doing at the age I'm doing it at. You know, most of the people that I graduated high school and went to college with are sitting back in a lounge chair on the back porch, sipping iced tea, watching the birdies play in the trees, and I'm not going to be that way. That, to me, that's a waste of the rest of your life.
Well, my friends, you'd have to visit at the cemetery because I'm 10 years older than you.
Thanks, Mr. Morbid.
Well, it's a fact of life, and every morning when I say my prayers, I thank Thee for yesterday that I'm still here and pray that I will be here throughout this day.
I tell you what, if we can't start going to restaurants soon and going back to a basic life of greeting and meeting people, I guarantee you my wife is about ready to eliminate one half of the marriage because of my temperament.
Well, I think it's about the same, but my wife is as radical as I am.
Okay, I got to run, Keith.
And she's a sweetheart.
I know she is. I got to run. I got Fred Wood on the other end of the line. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to have a dear friend. We may not agree on all points of interest, but I'll tell you what, I have the utmost respect for him as a legislator. When you want a job done or a job checked into, this man is there. I can guarantee that. And I'm not up on a soapbox trying to gather in more votes. I'm just stating fact. Representative Fred Wood is one of the best doggone legislators we've ever had. Good morning, sir. Send your check and money order to Zeb Belmer to Idaho.
Will do. Thanks.
Zeb. How are you this morning?
Not bad. I want to just kick around something that you as a physician can tell me and my audience real quick, and then we're going to get right into the ballots. I question, and I know that you are a bona fide professional in medicine. You know the ins and outs of what's going on. But I question the death numbers in this country. I think a lot of them are fictitious and have been skewed. And I also question the ascertainment of the cases discerned to be coronavirus. Explain that quickly if you can.
Well, according to the scientific community, the death rate is underreported. A lot of that can depend upon the fact that there's somewhere between 25 and 50% of all the people who become infected with the coronavirus have no symptoms at all. So if, in fact, you die, and particularly if you're old and you're in a nursing home or wherever, and you die and you appear to have a bacterial infection or you appear to die with pneumonia, etc., the leading event of that may well have been coronavirus, because we know that those pneumonias are followed by bacterial pneumonia a lot, etc. So in the scientific community, they don't believe the death count. They think that it is higher as COVID being a precipitating event to other events that actually cause death.
All right, what about the cases, Fred? Again, you and I are good friends, and I feel like I can be very blunt. They say, well, we reported overnight 54 new cases. How did they report 54 new cases? Did all of these people walk up and say, I've got coronavirus? I mean, come on, let's explain that a little bit.
Okay, so the confirmed cases, once you test positive, there are multiple diseases, contagious diseases, in all states that are immediately required to be reported to the state health department, and some of those are required to be reported to the Centers for Disease Control. So in Idaho, COVID-19 is one of the cases that you are supposed to report immediately, any positive test to the state health department. Secondly, they have a category of, that's a confirmed case. They have a category of cases that are probable, and that's people who are admitted to the hospital with typical symptoms of COVID, but have yet been confirmed with a certain test.
All right. Now, I'm 72 years old, and I'm considered to be in the danger zone for the coronavirus. I'm extremely active, extremely healthy after 5 years ago having a heart attack and a stroke, and I'm doing doggone well. And but yet everybody says, "Oh, you're in the danger zone," etc. It's not a bona fide death certificate that if you get the coronavirus, you're going to die, is it?
No, it's not. The good thing is that I don't know what the mortality rate is overall. The highest I've heard is about 3%. But here's something that you and I have to be concerned about, because you're 72 and I'm 74. There's only, of all of the cases that have died in Idaho, okay, pretty close to 70, none have been below the age of 50. Only 2 have been from 50 to 60. All of the other deaths have come from people that are 70 and older. So the risk of you and I, if we get COVID, the risk of us doing poorly is a real significant issue. The other thing is that people who have severe symptoms that have to go to the hospital, a majority of those people have damaged lungs for the rest of their lives. So if you're 35 or 40 years old, you're admitted to the hospital, you have to be on a ventilator, you do survive, but there's a very significant chance that your lungs are going to be permanently damaged for the rest of your life, which will impair your mobility, your activity, and make you more at risk for disease processes in the future, such as pneumonia, etc.
All right, but let's talk a little bit about the people our age. And, I've got a wide range of age that's my audience. But let's talk a little bit about people our age. I mean, if you feel bad and you show some symptoms, it's not necessarily going to put you on the table and you're going to be examined by the medical examiner. I mean, isn't there something that you can do, should do, even though you do show some preliminary signs? Can't you do something to alter the course of the coronavirus?
Well, I don't know that there's anything that's been scientifically proven. The very best, Zeb, is prevention. Don't get it in the first place, okay? But let's say you do get it. The first thing you want to do, or you get symptoms of it, the first thing you want to do is you want to be tested. And then secondly, as soon as you have a positive test, your health care provider should tell you, self-isolate and what you should be doing with respect to fluid replacement, vitamins, the way to eat, etc. And if things worsen, when to go to the hospital. The other thing is that we do have one drug now that does appear to offer some relief for coronavirus. That's remdesivir.
Right.
The cases or the quantities are limited. Idaho has a certain number of those in 9 hospitals in the state of Idaho. So I think there is some help for the most severe cases, but that's not it's not in abundant supply.
Are you suggesting that all people over 65 make some kind of initiation process of getting tested?
No, only if you develop symptoms.
Okay. And what's the procedure there? I've had numerous calls saying, well, what do I do? Do I call my doctor? Do I call one of these quick medical places? What is the procedure when you say, gee whiz, I've got some of the symptoms, and I'd like you, if you would, quickly to tell us what the symptoms are?
Okay, so first of all is a fever, a sore throat, cough, body aches, and diarrhea. All of those are known symptoms of COVID now. The second you do that, call your health care provider or call the public health district or call the hospital, and all of them can tell you where the nearest testing site is. The testing sites are drive-through, so you can, or specific locations to go to get tested, and then you will self-isolate until the test results come back. One of the disturbing things about testing is it's becoming more and more apparent that even the better tests are running a significant number of false negatives. In other words, you're testing negative when in fact you actually do have the virus. But I would disregard that. I would go and be tested anyway if, in fact, you develop any of those symptoms.
Okay, now wait a minute. You said, and I'm going to go through this list, you said body aches. I ache every day because I'm all busted up. Fever. I'm in the middle of just a minute, let me finish. I'm in the middle of hay fever season, and I feel like I'm having a fever. And as far as diarrhea is concerned, I like spicy Mexican food. So now, what do I do?
Anything that's out of the ordinary.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for you, not for, the symptoms that I say, but whatever's out of the ordinary for Zep Bell. And thermometers don't lie, Zep. That's one of the quickest ways to find out. If you take a temperature, particularly in the afternoon, and your temperature's above 100, then you best be paying attention.
And I appreciate everything you said, because I think sometimes, and I don't care really if people agree with me or not, I think sometimes on the national media and even locally, people gloss over really the basics that people need to know, and you spelled that out very plainly. Thank you. Now, we'll take a quick call. We're running so far behind on time, I'm going to have to shoot the watch. But caller, go ahead quickly with your question. I'm almost out of time.
Well,
I know this is not exactly on the subject, but I'm curious about Fred thinks about how we're going to recover economically and how soon. Thanks.
Fred, quick dissertation on that real fast.
Well, I didn't get a degree in economy, so I can't. The only thing I can say is this. I think that if we really do what we're supposed to do, which is still self-isolate, wear masks whenever we're in public, everybody wear masks whenever we're in public, all employees and all patrons, the governor can continue to increase and go through the phases, and we will be at the end of stage 4 by the end of June, which means the state will be completely open for normal business. But, Zeb, it's imperative that we protect one another by wearing face masks, by wearing shields when necessary, by social distancing, and do what economically you need to do, but don't do stupid things socially just because you can.
Okay.
For God's sakes, use a little common sense, everybody, and we can actually get through this.
All right, now, the main reason I had Fred come on this morning is, again, because the May 19th primary with the mail-in ballots. I'm almost out of time, but I'm going to take a little time away from another segment, and I'm going to keep you on here for a second. How is it going as far as the mail-in ballots or the getting of the ballots and then mailing them in? What have you heard?
Okay, so here, I just talked to the Speaker, Petke, not 10 minutes ago. Legislative District 27, Cajun, Minidoka counties, we are one of the lowest for ballot requests so far in the state of Idaho. Listeners, we can do better than that. And I just talked to Joe Larson about 15 minutes ago, and if you haven't gotten your request yet, here's how you can do it. On Election Day, there's going to be 2 lines in the county courthouse parking lot. One line is you can drive through and put in the physical ballot box your ballot that you've already filled out at home, if you haven't mailed it by then. The other line is going to be a line whereby you can drive through, you can request a form, or you can get a form to request a ballot. You can drive to another place in the parking lot, fill out that request form for a ballot, drive back through and drop it in the box, and within a day, Joe Larson will have your ballot in the mail to you. Remember, as long as it's back by the close of business on June the 2nd, that will count. So every listener, please, we need to vote in every election. So if you haven't figured it out yet, you can drive through the parking lot at the county courthouse on the 19th of May, next Tuesday, and you can get an application, fill it out right there, drive back through, put it in, and Joe will get you a ballot that you can mail.
You know, it's funny. I said this over a month ago about using the parking lots and balloting, and I'm glad somebody listened to me like you and used my idea.
And kudos to Joe Larson.
Absolutely. Listen, Fred, I appreciate your taking the time to be on this morning, and we keep urging everybody to vote, vote, vote. We're hopefully not going to have to go through all this again in the future. Things will rectify themselves, but God bless you and all the work that you're doing, and thank you for taking the time to come on our program this morning.
Zeb, good luck and God bless.
All right, sir. Thank you much. I got a lot of things to do here real quick. I want to remind you about our friends at Berry Equipment and Rental. Oh, yes, we do. Really, really good folks. Matter of fact, later on this morning, we're going to be talking to Josh. They've got 3 locations, Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin, with Eli and the crew, and the Nampa location. They've got all the equipment for the lifting, the digging, the pushing, the carrying, everything. Great big inventory of bobcats, trenchers, scissor lifts, you name it, Doosan equipment. Ho, ho, ho. You better get a hold of them today. Josh is going to tell us all about it later on this morning. Berry Equipment and Rental in Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. And with that being said, we had better go to the weather forecast, and then we'll take some more of your calls. You ought to see this desk I've got right now. Holy smokes, I've got piles of paper all over the place. Right now, our weather being brought to you by our dear friends at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids with the lovely Dr. Christine Pickup. I'm telling you, they really can help you and your hearing health. You don't want to keep going through life saying, huh? What'd he say? What's that, Martha? Anyway, I'll tell you what, you just give them a call, and they can have a hearing screening. You can find out what the problem is, and they can help to fix it. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, right behind the Minidoka Hospital, be across from the emergency room. And the number to call, 312-0957. Here now is Gina with the weather.
A slight storm system moving through today. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting a 40% chance of showers, mostly in the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of a breeze as well. Expecting a high of 62. Tonight, 40% chance of showers in the early evening hours, mostly cloudy skies, with a low of 41. Tomorrow, we will see some sunshine. Winds picking up just a little bit, high of 63, with an overnight low of 37 by Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-70s, and then possibly 82 for Sunday. That's a look at your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you very much, and brought to you by our friends at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And again, that number to call for the very, very best of diagnostic testing combined with the best technology to help your hearing health. 312-0957, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Really, really good people. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Some of the governors around the United States are taking this coronavirus lockdown, lock up, and lock out way too far. Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania has taken this to the nth degree, and certain business owners that have absolutely bent over backwards to make sure that they have the best in social distancing and wearing masks, and cleanliness. One in particular, a restaurant said, we're opening up, and they showed pictures of how they got the restaurant set up, and there's no way in the world you're close to anybody. And the funny thing is, this Governor Wolf of Pennsylvania came down on this restaurant owner like a cat to a plate of milk, and really now is making it personal. He took away the restaurant's liquor license and also is now hell-bent on closing him up and running him out of business. And the ironic thing is, next Monday, it goes into effect in Pennsylvania to where other restaurants can follow in exactly the same lockstep that this restaurant owner was using as far as safety precautions and cleanliness, etc. They're going to be okay, but the governor's after this one to try to run him out of business. It's ridiculous. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. Well, I'm glad to see the judge ruled that what the Michigan governor is unconstitutional. Unfortunately, in this state, too, our governor has just ignored the First Amendment, the ability to worship freely and the ability to assemble and so forth. But this thing has been blown so much out of proportion. The bottom line is, there are people, unfortunately, that want to destroy this economy. And I disagree with the governor. If you go through these 4 stages by July, it's going to be too late for many businesses in the state of Idaho. We need to open up right now. And because there's not enough data to support keeping us locked up. It's just not there. The number of cases doesn't mean diddly squat. And very few people are going to the hospital. I checked with somebody who works at the hospital. There's almost nobody there that's got COVID-19, coronavirus. Like Dr. Wood just said, most people are symptomless until they get tested. Then all of a sudden, you're like the plague. Most people don't even know they've had the virus. And we need to get to herd immunity, like the community of Rexburg. They've had students from all over the world. They brought that thing in much sooner than December or January, and there's no cases of COVID-19 in the hospital.
Okay. Now let me in here. Let me in here real quick, Adrian. Adrian, wait a minute, please. Let me jump in and say something here. I totally agree with what you're saying, and I also want to add something to it.
State operative, Deb, and he will kill this country if we wait till fall, and this is just ridiculous. He's tied in with the Gates Foundation. They want to have tracing, and so we have immunization cards. This will be the mark of the beast for sure.
All right, let me jump in. Wheels, turn him down for a minute. Well, Adrian, let me jump in. I can't let you just ramble on and on. I agree with what you're saying, and God bless you for saying it and calling into my show. However, there's also some other points of interest I think the liberal left is thinking about and doing that, to me, is admitting that the virus has defeated them. And that's the California State University system has already said they're not going to open up their classrooms for this fall. That's idiocy. We're talking about this being May. We're talking about the fall schedule starting in September. I don't know why the liberal left is so hell-bent on elongating a problem that we may not have come middle of summer.
Well, and of course the death rate is less than 0.1% of 1%, and those that are dead, like Fred Wood just said, that most of them are, I think the average death is at 80, and most of the deaths are occurring in care centers, and it's just ridiculous what's going on.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they want to get rid of Trump one way or another, drive his numbers down, and if this economy doesn't open up by November, and it's still sad, unfortunately we could lose not only the Senate, but the presidency as well.
I agree.
$3 trillion Pelosi bill, that thing should be put in the trash can, and all of it stinks. $1,600 checks for illegal aliens, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I got to run. I've got another call to get in, Adrian. Thank you. I got to run.
Election, we will lose this country.
I agree with you, and I got to run. I got another call, and I've got very little time. Thank you so much. I do agree with your concept and thoughts. Thank you very much. Caller number 2, I'll be right there with you. Stand by. I want to remind everybody about Robert Kunow, and he is running for Cassia County Commissioner again for re-election in District 2. This is a man that really believes and has conservative principles, constructive ideas, proactive leadership. Good county government is what he's searching for and demanding. And we really want you to remember, when you send in your ballot, your mail-in ballot, don't forget to vote for Robert Kunow as Cassia County Commissioner, District 2. And he says, I'll continue to approach the office of Cassia County Commissioner with an open mind and desire to serve the people of Cassia County, paid for by Robert Kunow for Cassia County Commissioner, District 2. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Quickly, I've got about 2 minutes left.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, I think this virus thing is crazy. To shut down a place like Denny's and have a parking lot dinner is just ridiculous.
No, wait a minute, Jerry.
Like Burger King.
Jerry, wait a minute.
Hamburger stands or drive-up Mexican restaurants open. I would be far more afraid of something that came to me in a paper box than something that came on a plate that was worse in a dishwasher.
Oh, wait a minute. Jerry, listen to me a minute. We've put a lot of time and effort, and I'm really kind of mad about this. We've put a lot of time and effort into trying to help Denny's any way we can, and the parking lot picnic is absolutely the way that we can get things started again to help Thomas and Michelle and the rest of the folks. My thanks to Penny Main and also my company. We jumped in and we want to make this work. Please don't say it's ridiculous. We're trying to help these people any way we can, so I don't need the negative. I need only positive.
Well, I'll give you this. I think Denny's would be a lot better place to go inside than outside.
Well, yeah, that's not the point, Jerry. Doggone it.
Restaurant that's run right. and all of them have to be run right. They have to follow health rules.
Jerry, you're missing the point here as to what we're trying to do, and I don't want you to call and be a negative net on this thing. We're doing all we can. We want the public to be there at 11:30 to 1. We're trying to help a business, and really, I don't want to hear any more of this negativity against this idea. We're trying to do the best we can. Thank you for your call.
Wonderful.
I am. Thank you. I am, and I'm going to continue to have a good day, and we're going to have everybody show up, I hope, to support the parking lot picnic at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, 11:30 to 1. I don't want any more negativity. We're trying to be positive in a very sick, pathetic situation. And negativity doesn't cut the cake with me at all. Am I short-tempered? Damn right I am, and I'm going to stay short-tempered. We've got too many businesses that are suffering, and we're going to do all we can to help them. Wheels, you better take it away. I'm frustrated. Wheels, turn the music up, buddy. I can barely hear you. Thank you. And right now, welcome back to Zeb at the Ranch. And I'm sick and tired of all these prognostications on numbers, all of this. It's getting a little tiresome. Right now, we want to remind you that we're brought to you by our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the very best of tires in a safe, clean environment. Stop in and see them today. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, along with our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And, of course, don't forget Greystone Crossing Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Want to remind you, too, about our friend Robert Kunow, and he is running again for Cassia County Commissioner, District 2. This man's got a lot of experience in serving you. Board member for South Central Public Health, board member for the Community Action, board member for Region 4 Development, and a man that was raised in Burley and says, I'll continue to approach the office of Cassia County Commissioner with an open mind and desire to serve the people of Cassia County. Conservative principles. And so Robert Kunow is asking for your vote in the May 19th primary for Cassia County District Commissioner and District 2, and of course paid for by Robert Kunow for Cassia County Commissioner. Before we go to our guest, I also would like at this time, I think it's fitting, Wheels, if you would please, could we have the commercial for the May 19th primaries?
Be sure to mail in your May 19th primary election ballots. Here's Representative Fred Wood.
Hopefully everyone eligible to vote has requested their absentee ballot from their county clerk by this time. If not, please do so soon. When you receive your absentee ballot packet, fill out your ballot. Next, carefully read and follow the instructions regarding the process of ballot in the gold envelope in the white envelope, and signing the white envelope. Then mail the white signed envelope. Paid Fred Wood Campaign.
Thank you, Fred. And also quickly, our dear friends and your friends at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Joel Heward, family and staff, always serving you and your family. When someone passes away, it's really a hard time on everyone. And Hanson Mortuary and Joel Heward, they always provide the families they serve with the best possible support and comfort, and always upholding the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Write the number down. Please remember 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert, and Joel Heward also serving you and your family at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. It's Thursday, and I get a chance to talk to a lovely lady that's the president and CEO of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. And by golly, good morning to Penny Main. How are you?
Good morning, friend. How are you doing?
Hanging in, hanging on. You better believe it.
Hey, we've got a busy day today, right?
Yes, we do at 11:30. And we had a little negativity last hour that, doggone it made me mad. We are doing, and I'm going to say this right up front, I want to thank you and the Chamber of Commerce for your help and diligence, and we're trying to keep businesses in business. And any little thing that we can do to help stimulate their business and help those folks have a job, I'm going to do it. And I think this parking lot picnic is just one small item I hope will help.
Well, I think it's a great idea, and I give you all the credit for the idea. I think it's a great idea. And, right, exactly. What we want to do is have people flourish and continue to do business in Mini-Cassia. I mean, things are still going so strong here, and we're so blessed in so many ways in spite of this detour that we've taken recently. But, we're going to be practicing social distancing. We're going to be really careful. The Chamber will have masks on. I know Tom Peterson and his crew at Denny's will be very careful, and we're gonna follow the rules. But this just gives everybody an opportunity to come have a great lunch courtesy of Denny's in Burley, and get a chance to see each other. And you don't have to hang the whole time, but we'll be there from 11:30 to 1:30. And as soon as I'm finished here, Zeb, just so you know, I'm running down to Denny's and putting the sign out on the grass out there out front, so people will know that we'll be there today from 11:30 to 1.
And it goes without saying, Penny, that since you've taken over as the president and CEO of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, I have been very, very happy with the net result of working with you, and you're showing your due diligence this morning by going above board to help us out on this promotion. And I thank you, and I don't say that lightly. I thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome, friend. We've been friends for a long time, and again, I give you credit for the great idea, and we were just happy to hop on board and help out a little bit. We value Thomas Peterson and his staff at Denny's. They're longtime members of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, and, we're all just trying new ways to keep business moving forward.
Right.
And please trust, we're going to be careful. We're going to be mindful of that. And we just want you to know that we're here to support local business in Mini-Cassia. I mean, that's the bottom line, right?
Absolutely. And, boy, you've got a busy day. I mean, you're not going to get home until, midnight, 1 in the morning?
I have no idea, but it's going to be a long one, but it's all good. Later tonight, we've teamed up with Keller Williams Sun Valley, Southern Idaho, from here in Burley. Great group of people, Kit and Kelly Carney, Shell Telleria, great folks. They're actually doing their annual Keller Williams Red Day Rally. And Shell Telleria, I give her a lot of credit for pulling this off. We just started on this last week as well. But the bottom line is this gives people a chance to help benefit Mini-Cassia Pause, which is the suicide prevention group here in Mini-Cassia. Now more than ever, we need to support this great group of people. Proud to say that Keller Williams and Mini-Cassia Pause are also members of the Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to do whatever we can to support them. It's going to be really simple. It's going to happen here in the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce parking lot tonight from 4 to 6 p.m. It's basically a drive-through rally. They're looking for monetary donations. You might have $1, you might have 100. Doesn't matter. Whatever you can do to help support this great cause in Mini-Cassia. And you can drive through. We've also got 4 food trucks that are going to be here in the parking lot as well. Actually, the folks from Keller Williams will be taking your orders and picking up your food or whatever it is you want to eat for dinner tonight. And you can stay in your car the entire time. So, again, as part of the Chamber of Commerce, and we follow the law of the land here, we're going to be practicing social distancing as well. So you'll feel safe. You'll be inside your car. We'll take your orders if you want to eat. Otherwise, you're welcome to just drop off your donation and drive through and drive out. But God bless you for those who can come by tonight from 4 to 6.
I-27, N34. Bingo! Bingo!
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, bingo's on the way. Yeah, and, the Veterans of Foreign War, God bless them, Clark Dixon, Russ Ludlow, Rod Chandler, there's a bunch of them. They work hard, to promote the good and promote services for veterans here in our Mini-Cassia area. Chance to win $600. Start Saturday night. Doors open at 4, and might just have a chance to win that $600 jackpot. I do know that they are being very diligent. They have masks and offering that social distancing as well. As awkward as that may seem, it's best to just do that for now. So, bingo's on the way. One thing I do want to say before I forget, and I didn't have this on my notes, but you probably already know this, as most do today. Governor Little will be addressing us today at 1 o'clock. and we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can indeed move into stage 2 of the Idaho Rebound Recovery. And so we'll keep you posted on that, but we're looking forward to his message today with hopeful thoughts that we can move forward into stage 2 and get Idaho moving again.
Absolutely. Did we miss anything? What about the Monday Motivator?
Real quick, the Monday Motivator, folks doing great things like Project Mutual, Friends of DeMary, Pomeroy Place, and more. If you don't receive the Monday Motivator e-blast, call us here at the Chamber, 679-4793. We'll get you on the list, that's for sure. And one quick mention, save the date. Please save the date, September 2nd, the most fun golf tournament of the season. It's the Chamber of Commerce Scramble at River's Edge. Let us know ASAP. We've already had lots of folks call us already. If you're interested in sponsoring a team or want to take advantage of some other great sponsorship opportunities. So it's going to be a great time. We'll be ready to party, I'm sure, come September 2nd.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate everything you do, Penny. Thank you. And again, we're going to be at the first parking lot picnic at Denny's Restaurant at 11:30 today, 611 North Overland in Burley. Now, we can't end the segment without having the trivia question, answered or not, by the president of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, I'm going to give you almost all the answer, okay?
You say that every time.
Well, yeah, but I lie sometimes. But this person is a great actor, and I'm going to give you his name. His name is Buddy Ebsen. He was a great character actor. He started in the Disney presentation of Davy Crockett as Georgie Russell. Then he went on to be Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies. And then he went on to be the lawyer Barnaby Jones. But wait a minute. What did Buddy Ebsen do professionally before he was an actor?
Oh, what did he do before he was an actor? Oh my gosh. This was starting out to be a really great day, Zeb. But I don't think it's going to end momentarily like that. I don't know, Zeb. What did he do?
He was a professional dancer.
Seriously?
He was, yes.
Well, gee whiz, I did not know that.
Well,
I know that now.
Gee whiz is not the response. Gee whiz is not the response that I thought I might get off the air or on the air, but now you have lost this one. But anyway, I'll give you credit for at least knowing who he was.
I watched all 3 shows, if that makes any difference.
Yeah, I know, but we're old.
I am, but anyway, hey, thanks so much, Zeb, for all you do for the Chamber of Commerce, too, and we can't wait to see you at 11:30 today.
We'll be there. I'll come in a-honkin'.
Okay, me too.
All right, Penny, thank you so much.
See you there. Bye.
Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main, thank you very much, President and CEO. Don't forget our friends at Let's Ride. Oh, yeah. Let's Ride. Get your motor running. Vroom, vroom. Head for the hills and enjoy the great outdoors. Don't forget that Let's Ride has all the wonderful four-wheelers and the side-by-sides, and they're ready to serve you. I really do urge you to get a hold of them today at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. 436-4771, the number to call. Monday through Friday, they're open 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 2. And like I said, they're having rebates on side-by-sides and four-wheelers right now. All the accessories, man, they are ready. 15% off on all the service work they had in April, and they got great service for you and your four-wheelers and side-by-sides, and that service department is outstanding. Let me tell you, Let's Ride, where the fun is sold. Right now, we're going to go on over to our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley with Mr. Nick Greenwell. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. How are you?
Running late as usual, but I'm so happy that you could take the time to come on my program this morning. I want to stress the fact that you, Nick Greenwell, a great businessman, entrepreneur, and you've got not only Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation for the folks, but also Elite Fitness. Tell us a little bit about, let's start with the fitness first and foremost.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually over here right now. We're doing one big last couple of days here where we're cleaning good and updating and painting and just really giving the place a good once-over before we open again on this Saturday. So we're excited.
Now, when you say you're cleaning and renovating and fixing up and everything, are you, as a fitness center, ready, and is everything in accordance with what has to happen with the governor's orders, et cetera? I might as well be blunt. I want to check everything out.
Yes, absolutely. Unless he decides to change his mind today for some reason, we are planning on being open and prepped and ready for the 16th. We're just going to spread things out just a little bit, instead of having every treadmill available, we might have every other one available to kind of keep people a little bit further apart for the first couple of weeks. But aside from that, the building's never looked better. We've painted every surface in here and cleaned every surface and moved every piece of equipment and cleaned underneath it and sanitized things. And I think people will be really impressed when they come. It looks really sharp, smells really clean, feels really clean, and boy, I'll tell you what, our phone's been ringing off the hook at people eager to get back.
Well, and really, I got to say this, regardless of us being friends or not, people need to get back into a healthy lifestyle and healthy workout routine. This staying behind closed doors, looking out the kitchen window at the birds and the trees isn't healthy for anybody.
Well, absolutely, and I'm not talking just physically. I mean, mentally, people need to get out. They've been cooped up. They're kind of going stir crazy, and so this is a great avenue to come and work out and listen to a little music and just get back into your life's routine and feel better and get healthy.
Now, what do they do, Nick, as far as finding out the hours and everything else? Is there a main number? Give us all that information.
You bet. So our number over here at Elite Fitness is 678-2155. Or else you're more than welcome to call my physical therapy office at 678-1191. We're also all over Facebook and social media for both centers. Elite Fitness Burley is the name of our email address and our Facebook page. We have all of the hours listed on there. We are a 24-hour gym, so you can come and go as you please. We have an electronic key that you'll use. Just need to be here in person to sign up and get your electronic key. And we're going to be running some really good specials starting June to kind of keep people interested and get them back out. But for now, it's 24 hours, so come and go as you please.
I tell you what, Elite Fitness, put that on your day planner, everybody. It is time to get back being fit and healthy. Thank you. Now, over to a couple of blocks away, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. And you're located at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And a lot of people, and I've heard this nationally and also here in the state, they've kind of just sat back and let themselves and their recuperation from surgery and accidents kind of go, and that's not good either, is it?
No, it's not. Things can stiffen up and get weak really, really quickly. We've never closed the doors over there. Obviously, things have slowed down a little bit as elective surgeries and such have decreased. But we're kind of getting back in the rhythm. We've got a lot of hospitals that are opening back up and allowing more surgeries to take place, and people are getting more and more stir crazy and ready to get out. And so, again, our phone's been ringing off the hook there as well, so we're getting busier and busier. And so you're more than welcome to give us a call at 678-1191 or pop by, and we do free consultations. And we're also able to do some home visits and some telehealth conference calls if we need to. So, yeah, it's getting busy. It's time. The weather's warming up, and it's time to get moving again.
You know, I've had some calls over the last couple of weeks regarding Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation because they know that I've gone to you for help on my knee and my hip. And some of the calls were, well, what kind of a facility is it? What do I have to bring? I mean, how do I go about seeing if they want me to use that hydrotherapy pool? All these kinds of questions. How would you respond to that?
You know, if we come into a facility like that, just wear something that you can move around in because we're not just going to sit still, as you very well know. So loose-fitting clothes, shorts, T-shirts, things like that are great. And then you'll be well aware if you're going to be getting in the pool after your initial consultation. We'll kind of do a once-over, and then we'll kind of set goals as a team, both by my perspective and yours, depending on what you want to get back to, whether it's onto the soccer field or simply being able to get on and off your horse or play with your grandkids. And we'll set goals, and whether or not we use that pool or not will be up to the two of us. And when you're ready to get in there, you'll be the only one in there, and you'll just wear something appropriate to get in the water with. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and everybody loves it.
Okay. Now, the other question I've had is what about insurances as far as coverage and whether or not they can help in the assisting of becoming a frequent basis with Burley Physical Therapy? I know Callan addressed this one time, and I think it's worthy that we talk about it again real quick.
Absolutely, yeah. I cannot think of an insurance that we don't take, Zeb. And if someone comes in with a unique health plan or an insurance, then Callan is Johnny on the spot, and he calls and makes arrangements, and we get signed up and become preferred providers. So I can't think of a more flexible place than Burley PT because he is really good at what he does. And like I say, I cannot think of off the top of my head any insurance that we don't take. And if you don't have insurance, we've got plans for that as well, and our main goal is to just get you better.
You know, the one thing that I don't think is ever stressed about going to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation is the people. You've got a great in-house personality of all the people. As a matter of fact, their sense of humor borders on wacky. I enjoy every minute of it.
Well, we try and keep it a little bit of a more lighthearted approach. I mean, obviously, we're professional, and our main goal is to get you better, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a boring, mundane place. Therapy sometimes is uncomfortable, and we do our best to try and get through it with as little pain as possible. But, yes, we have a fantastic staff. Both our clinical staff and our support staff have got a lot of experience. We've got a couple of new faces over there. My son Josh is back, and he's got his doctorate of physical therapy now, and so that's been fun to have him back. And we also just picked up Kim Schneider. He's a certified hand therapist that's been working in the field for about 21 years. He's an occupational therapist, and he specializes in hand therapy, which is a very specific thing. So that's really unique and extremely beneficial to the area.
You know, could we possibly next week feature him on this segment and talk about hand therapy and really what all it entails?
Absolutely. I think that'd be a great idea. He's a hometown local guy. He went to Minico and is back with his family, and so that's exciting. But, yes, absolutely. I'd love to do that. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to get on and kind of tell you a little bit about his past and his bio and what he specializes in and what kinds of things people may come over and ask questions about.
All right. Now, Nick, I'm going to wrap it up by letting you tell us first and foremost address and hours of Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and then also Elite Fitness. Go ahead.
You bet. So Burley Physical Therapy and Rehab is located at 1263 Bennett Avenue in Suite 2. Just go right around the back of Dr. Gilbert Crane's office, and you'll see our facility there. And temporary hours right now are 8 to 5, but we are getting back to where we're busy enough to where we're probably going to extend and start opening at 7 and staying open until 6 on certain nights. 678-1191 is our phone number over there. And then over at Elite Fitness, again, starting this Saturday, we're going to be open. It's a 24-hour center. 678-2155 Elite Fitness Burley on Facebook. And the other big thing that we're going to be doing starting June 1st over here is we are opening an in-house daycare. So if you got little ones and you want to come and work out or join one of our very unique and popular fitness classes, bring your kids. We'll get them taken care of. We've got special plans for that as well. And we're at 1200 Oakley Avenue here.
Okay. There's the man, and I've got the utmost respect for him and his entire staff at both locations of Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation and Elite Fitness. Nick Greenwell, God bless you, man. Thanks for being on the air.
Thank you, sir. Be safe and be good.
All right. Take care. Thank you very much. Very, very nice man right there, and really knows his stuff, as does his entire staff. Thank you very much. Talking about staff that really knows what's going on, I'll tell you what, that's true also at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Oh, my, the best of life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, and employee benefits. All of this for you, your family, and your business. I urge you to get a hold of them. It's easy. Call the number 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. They are very responsive and accessible to help you. 436-4424, the best. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Absolutely. By the way, I also want to mention to you, if I could, our friends at 7K Metals. You can help yourself build your own financial security and, of course, build your own future. How do you do that? Well, you check it out. 7K Metals with silver purchases sent right to your home. We've been doing it for about, I think the last 4 or 5 months. And it's really a saving opportunity for you and a valued treasure for your loved ones. And how do you find out more about it? You call my friends Lon Hardy at 312-8699 or Sharon Wilmot at 430-3259 and mention I told you to call. They will help you with a sore throat. And also 7K Metals, silver purchases sent to your home. It is a great opportunity. You check it out today. Let's go to the phone line and see if we have our next guest ready to go. This lady was on my program, I'm going to say 3-4 months ago, and I'm very glad that she's back on the air with us, and that's the lovely Kathy Barnett that has written the book called Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain. Good morning, Kathy. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're up here in the hinterland, and it's kind of a rainy, kind of a cloudy day today, but little by little, people are getting out and enjoying life again. And what about your neck of the woods?
Yeah, well, weather-wise, a beautiful day. Democracy-wise, we are in trouble. We have an authoritarian tyrant of a governor who is enjoying the control that he has over the people of Pennsylvania right now.
You know, Kathy, I got to be honest with you, and that's the only way I shoot on this program, is I've been following your Governor Wolf and some of the absolutely demented ways that he has treated certain individuals and certain businesses back in your state, and I'm not too high on your governor.
Yeah, my hope is that people are getting a taste of socialism, getting a taste of those when given power, what they do with it. I knew it almost immediately. Across the nation, so many Americans did the patriotic thing, and when our president asked us to voluntarily self-contain throughout this country, the overwhelming majority of us did just that. And when we did it, although I agreed at the time to do such a thing, I said to my husband, we're going to have to wrangle this control out of the hands of these liberals because they have finally gotten what they've always wanted, and that is power. That is to be the one who's telling the rest of us how to live. And you're right. I woke up this morning and I read an article out of China that they are now arresting those who are speaking out about the coronavirus there in China. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not that much different from what is happening right here in our own country, and specifically in my state. We have citizens who are on the verge of losing everything they have worked for. And our governor just came out this week calling us cowards and saying that he will arrest us, that he will revoke our licenses, that insurance would not pay for us. It is amazing. And then when you take a look at the numbers, overwhelmingly, almost 70% of the deaths we've incurred here in the state of Pennsylvania have taken place, unfortunately, in nursing homes. In my district, Montgomery County, primarily, over 88% of the deaths have occurred in nursing homes, the long-term care facilities. And it is tragic when you see that the head of Pennsylvania Health Department has actually forced these facilities to take in COVID-positive patients. It just makes no sense at all. Everything is illogical. And it's about time that we stop being silent.
Help me on this, Kathy, because you're very close to this situation. And also, not that many miles away in the state of New York, Governor Cuomo did the same thing by basically ushering the coronavirus into more secluded areas like nursing homes, and it was a death knell for our seniors. I'm going to be very blunt when I say this. What in the hell is the matter with these people and not thinking about our seniors and their health?
Oh, my goodness. Listen, the reason why all of us across this nation put our lives on pause, shuttered our businesses, is because we were under the impression that we were doing this in order to protect the most vulnerable people in our society. That's the reason why we shuttered in. That's the reason why even today we're wearing masks. You see advertisement after advertisement saying it's not just about you, but be kind to your neighbor, because we don't know who's asymptomatic, who has underlying issues, and so we want to protect the most vulnerable. And then to come to find out that the most vulnerable people among us, our leaders, specifically Cuomo, and now we found out about Governor Wolf and Dr. Levin, demanded these nursing home facilities and long-term care facilities accept COVID-19 positive patients. So the very people we were told we were supposed to be protecting, the most vulnerable, these particular leaders forced them to take in COVID-19 people, essentially trapping them right where they are. They're trapped, and not only trapped, but targeted them as well. I mean, if it's not criminal, it is extreme, egregious abuse of power, and these people need to be held accountable. And then get this, Dr. Levin, who wrote this particular edict that nursing home facilities and others are supposed to take in these COVID-19 patients, he removed his own mother from one of those long-term care facilities and placed her in a hotel because he wanted to protect her. She's 95 years old, but did not think twice about afford us the same opportunity to protect our loved ones who may be in these long-term care facilities.
Absolutely. Kathy, one of the things that I've harped about for the last 2 months over this coronavirus scare and pandemic is the smugness and the arrogance of governors, including Newsom and Wolf and Whitmer and others, that are saying, well, this is essential business and that's non-essential. And right there, they've got the back of my head, the hair standing straight out, because there is no such thing as a non-essential business. To that respective business owner and family, that's the essential business that creates the income to keep that family afloat. There is no such thing as essential and non-essential. To me, they're all the same. What are your thoughts?
Amen, right? And not only that, and here in Pennsylvania, our state assembly has passed all types of legislation, all types of bills, trying to demand that Governor Wolf provide us with the rubrics he is using to decide what is an essential versus a non-essential business. We have no idea how these authoritarian tyrants are determining what is essential, what's not essential. What's interesting is that his cabinet making business was deemed essential. It remains essential. So these people are literally picking winners and losers. What else is very interesting, we found out, is that, these people look very groomed when they're in front of the television, whether we're talking about de Blasio or Cuomo and his daily briefings, or Governor Wolf, Dr. Levine, Newsom, and the rest of them. They all look very manicured and groomed, while the rest of us are beginning to look more and more like we've been quarantined. These people are looking really groomed. Yesterday we found out that as far as Governor Wolf is concerned, he has deemed his barber to be essential. And so his barber continues to groom him. While the rest of us and the rest of these small businesses who have spent, their life savings trying to open up some of these salons are deemed unessential. And so therefore they are to just deal with it.
You know, Kathy, one of the things I want you to highlight, because you're extremely articulate, and I'm so happy to have you back on the show, is one of the issues and items of this melodrama that's playing out called the virus pandemic. We're looking at education like, okay, come see, come saw, and the schools are talking about not opening in the fall. California State University system said they may not open at all in the fall. We can't do this. We have got to start up again with our education system, or once we lose it, it's never going to come back.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was reading a couple of days ago an article that came out from an economic perspective that said within 5 months, 65% of our small businesses will be closing their business forever.
Oh, my.
We can't afford that. I honestly believe that the goal of many of these liberal tyrants who are governors of these various states, that their plan is simple. It's a simple plan. And that is to keep this nation, to keep their state closed as long as possible, to force people like you and I to run through our savings, which will then put us in a precarious situation where we are more likely to be a little bit more agreeable to their socialist agenda, which has always been their plan. It has always been their idea. It's always been the thing that they've been working toward, their Green New Deal, their universal education. If I run through my savings, how much more likely am I to agree to their universal education?
That's right.
Pay for my children's college. How much more likely are we to be agreeable to their government health care if we run through our savings and we lose our livelihood? How much more agreeable would we be? I think the plan is very simple. And listen, these people know that we are law-abiding citizens. And so they are betting everything on the fact that we will continue to be law-abiding citizens, that we will just shut up and suck it up, even to the extent of losing our livelihoods. They have presented us with a false choice that either we want to either we want to save lives from the threat of this coronavirus, or we're just greedy capitalists. That's a false choice, and I reject it. And I am now calling on all Americans to be silent no more. We cannot just sit back and lose it all. Every single time from the beginning of this COVID-19 pandemic to today, those who are considered quote-unquote experts have been wrong on every single thing, whether it was the WHO who told us this virus that it did not have a human-to-human transmission, Dr. Fauci agreeing with that, whether the CDC told us 2.2 million people are going to die, only to revise it to 1.6 million, then to 240,000, now somewhere around 70. Whether they were calling Donald Trump a racist at the very beginning of this when he wanted to close the border, now saying, well, maybe that was the thing that saved so many lives. These people have been wrong time and time again. I think we have every reason to question what it is that they're doing now that is literally about to destroy this nation and our futures and our children's future.
Kathy, let me ask you this question, and after I ask you this and you answer it, we'll take a call. Caller, stand by. What about the minorities? What about the black society? And what about other minorities? Are they, as a whole, are they buying into this liberal mindset, or are people starting to raise their eyebrows and say, wait a minute, the 7-letter word control seems to be more dominant with the left more so now than ever?
You know, I mean, it is my hope, right? I mean, like, you really don't know what's going on. You can't tell heads from tail, because we're being, and all you can hear is on mainstream media is all about COVID, unless, of course, they're trying to pinpoint the tragic death of Ahmaud Arbery down in Georgia on Donald Trump,
right,
to further hammer the nail in that Donald Trump is a racist, and it's because of him that young man so tragically and brutally was murdered in the street of Georgia. But other than those two things, you really don't hear a whole lot. So it is my hope that black people, that people in the minority community are recognized, that all Americans are beginning to recognize what is going on here, especially when you begin to look at these nursing home numbers and recognize that these, some of the most vulnerable people among us have been targeted by these quote-unquote so-called experts. So that is my hope.
We have a caller with a question for you, Kathy. Stand by, caller. Quickly, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I really like this lady. I'm behind her 100%. I appreciate her. I just wanted to say that I am not a sheep, and I'm not going to follow these people over the edge. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that this is an election year, and an elections can have results. We can get rid of some of these governors.
I appreciate your call. Kathy, respond to him, please.
I agree. I mean, every election cycle we always say this is the most important election cycle. As God is my witness, I believe this is the most defining election cycle. And that is the reason why I'm running. I never intended to run for public office. I don't even really like politicians. I want to understand their policies. I want to be able to articulate their policies clearly and precisely and effectively to people, but I never intended to run. And then I homeschool my kids. I'm sitting on the floor working with them, and the thought crossed my mind, what in the world are my babies going to inherit? We are in a fight for the identity of this nation like never before. These liberals are not playing with us. They have told us who they are. We need to believe them. I'm on the front line. I need people to go to KathyBarnettForCongress.com and to support what it is that I'm doing. Whether you're in my district or not, it was the House of Representatives that impeached the duly elected president. We need to retire as many of them as possible.
I'm going to give you a little scenario right here, Kathy, and I want you to play along with me for a second. Let's assume, and I hope you do, I hope you win in the 4th District of Pennsylvania and become a U.S. Congresswoman. But how would you react the first day in Congress if by chance you were seated almost next to the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
I would grab her mic. And I would grab that spotlight. Listen, we need people who are unflinching. We need people who understand the difference between right and wrong. We're now living in a culture where you don't even have to be a woman to be a woman. You know, I have to ask you who you are, if you're a male or a female, before I actually believe my eyes. Like, we're living in a culture where we're teaching the next generation that you cannot trust your own eyes, but instead I need to sit and wait until you identify what your gender is. We're living in a culture where you don't even have to be black anymore. I'm sure everyone remembers Rachel Dolezal. That's the kind of foolishness that we as Americans have, under the cover of tolerance, right? Under the cover of, let's just agree to disagree. We have allowed these people to literally begin to redefine what it means to be an American and what truth really means. We need people in office who understand the difference between right and wrong. We need people who will stand up and say the emperor has no clothes on, and I'm not falling for that foolishness. Those are the kind of people. Right now, we have some good Republicans in office, but overwhelmingly, as I'm beginning to peek behind the political curtain now, even more so, we have a number of, Republicans who basically put their finger in the air and try to figure out which way the wind is blowing, and then jump on the tail end of that. It is time for we have more and more people like after the ilk of Donald Trump who are willing to go into the House of Representatives and teach Republicans how to have a backbone, how to stand up for what is right, and who will support good policies when they come up.
I'm going to tell you something, Kathy. I would do anything to help support you. I mean, if you need me to cut a tape or anything, I'm there. You are a breath of fresh air in the middle of a maelstrom that we're living in right now under this pandemic. God bless you and your stance on these issues. But now quickly, the book, Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain. It's a wonderful book. Tell my audience how they can get a copy.
Anywhere. Go to Amazon.com and order it from there. Nothing to lose, everything to gain, being black and conservative in America. It went number 1 2 months in a row on Amazon. I'm very grateful to God. I wrote this book. I submitted it at the end of November of last year, and nowhere in this book will you hear a hint of me thinking I would be running for Congress. I had no idea. This was not on my bucket list of things to do. But if not me, then who? And the reason why evil is able to prevail in this nation is because good people don't get engaged. I'm on the front line, but I need others to come alongside me and to support what it is that I'm attempting to do. I intend to win because I remember 2016, President Trump, we're supposed to be calling Madam Hillary Clinton right now, not President Donald Trump. And all I need to do is to be viable, and I need others to come alongside. Go to KathyBarnettForCongress.com and to help make us viable till the end of this.
Wow, I just love you, and I tell you, you got to promise me to come back more often because you have made my day. Kathy Barnett, and ladies and gentlemen, the book, Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain. She's running for the 4th District of Pennsylvania Congress seat, and Kathy, all I can say simply is God bless and the very best to you.
Blessings. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Boy, I tell you, folks, in this day of negativity and doom and gloom, and then you hear someone like her that is absolutely uplifting and America's great and we can do better, and oh, I love her. I appreciate her. Kathy Barnett. The book is called Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain, and she is running for the United States Congress seat in the 4th District of Pennsylvania, and she, I hope and pray, wins. Time for the weather. And the weather brought to you by Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. The professionals in accounting services to the Mini-Cassia area and beyond for over 50 years. I mean, you're talking about people that really care about you, your business, and your family, and they take care of your tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, financial statement preparation, all your retirement planning. I mean, the list goes on and on because they are the professionals in Burley and Rupert serving you. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
A slight storm system moving through today. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting a 40% chance of showers, mostly in the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of a breeze as well. Expecting a high of 62 tonight, 40% chance of showers in the early evening hours, mostly cloudy skies, with a low of 41. Tomorrow we will see some sunshine, winds picking up just a little bit, high of 63 with an overnight low of 37 by Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-70s, and then possibly 82 for Sunday. That's a look at your weather for Zeb the Rain.
Love it. Thank you, Gina. And again, the professionals bringing you the weather this hour, and that's Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices at 1710 Overland in Burley and 625th Street in Rupert. The professionals, Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Let's see, what have we got cooking for the rest of the day? Next hour, we're going to have, of course, Cassia County School Days. Our guest will be Jennifer Schaefer, then the Business Salute, and then a short interview with Jason Redman, the author of the book called Overcome. That's all coming up in the next hour. Want to remind you, too, and I say this every Thursday, if you're hungry about this time of the day and starving to death, I know a great place, or as a matter of fact, some great places to go and alleviate that hunger. Oh, my goodness sakes, yes. How about the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley? Open 11 in the morning till 9 p.m. Drive-through window open for your convenience, and they've got the most delicious of the fish burgers and the shrimp and the fries and the famous Farmer Brown burgers and all the fries and the sauce and the different flavored shakes. It's delicious. Farmer Brown Burger, my grandsons love those. At the delicious AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. How about let's move on over to Taco Bandito? 2301 Overland in Burley, and they're open from 7:30 to 9 p.m., 7:30 in the morning to 9 p.m., drive-in window open, and don't forget, you can call in your order, and they'll bring it out to you. Great, great place to get together in the morning for coffee, and they've got that delicious breakfast burrito, knock your boots off good, scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, and sauce on a tortilla shell. Great way to start the day. All the delicious menu items at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Moving over now to not one but two great locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. The lobby's open for takeouts and the drive-thru is open. Hey, they've got all the different burgers, all the different sandwiches, and corn dogs and burritos for $1.29 each. Can't beat that. And you know what else they've got? Really nice people serving you at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. Last but not least, Steve-O's Food made the way you love it at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. And they've got to-go orders ready for you, delicious buffalo burgers, cheesy broccoli spuds, and they've got cupcakes, say that fast 3 times, along with all the other great menu choices. They're open Monday to Thursday, 11 to 8, Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 9. Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. And believe me, those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. Let's see, what else have I got to tell you about it real quick? Next Monday on the program, we are going to be starting a little book giveaway. I had on my program about 3-4 weeks ago a gentleman by the name of Trent England, and he had written a book called Why We Must Defend the Electoral College, and he sent me a complimentary copy and also some other copies to pass out to my audience. It's an outstanding, easy to read book, and I urge you to get a copy, and I'll give away some freebies on this next week. Don't forget, too, we're going to be at Denny's Restaurant, absolutely, at 611 North Overland in Burley at 11:30 this morning, 11:30 to 1, for the parking lot picnic, and we thank you. Come on down, everybody. Park in the parking lot. Denny's will bring the food out to us, and it's just going to be fun. Honk your horn, have a good time at Denny's Restaurant today at 11:30, 611 North Overland in Burley. Right now, we're going to send it over to Wheels, and we'll be back in about 7 minutes. Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hour number 3, Zev at the Ranch on this Thursday, May 14th. Glad to have you aboard, and our thanks go out to our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best of tires in a safe, clean environment. You stop in and see them today. Your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers. And our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And, of course, Greystone Crossing. Oh, my goodness, what a beautiful place for senior living, a 12-bedroom home, brand spanking new, absolutely beautiful, and they furnish 3 meals a day and snacks and housekeeping, local transportation. You'd better call. You better make an appointment. You better set up a time to see this beautiful place, Greystone Crossing. Call Matt or Kelly Wiggins at 650-4979. That number again, 650-4979. Greystone Crossing Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Wheels, could we please have the good word about the May 19th primaries?
Idaho's primary election is on Tuesday, May 19th. Here's Senator Kelly Anthon to explain this year's voting by mail.
The outcome of every election we have is determined by who shows up to vote. This year, Idaho's primary election is a mail-in only election. It's not ideal, and it's not the way we'd like to do it. But your vote does make a difference for all of us in Idaho. So please, first request a ballot, then mail it in, and make your voice heard. This message is paid for by the Anthem for Idaho Senate campaign.
Thank you, Kelly, and I appreciate it. And by the way, just a quick note, and I want to say this. Senator Kelly Anthon is coming home from the hospital. He's feeling much, much better. God's blessings to him. And another dear friend of ours, and George Mass, is down in Salt Lake Hospital. And I talked to him early this morning, and he had that old cheer in his voice again. And we pray for both of those folks to heal up and get back home. Thank you very much. I want to remind you, too, about the Bennett Boys Auction Service. They're going to have a ripping good sale this Saturday. That's May 16th at 11 o'clock. Larry and Carlene Hathaway semi-retirement auction. And it's going to be located exactly 620 North and 200 west of Shoshone. Sale time at 11 o'clock. They'll bring down the gavel and be ready to go to sell you tractors and trucks and pickups, farm equipment, hay equipment, fencing of all kinds, miscellaneous items, old collectibles like a two-bottom horse plow, and a lot of great things over there at the Larry and Carlene Hathaway semi-retirement auction, 11 o'clock Saturday, this Saturday, May 16th, over by Shoshone. Look for the signs, lunch available on the grounds, and the sale managed by Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. By the way, too, and I'm kind of hurrying and scurrying to get everything taken care of this hour before we go to our guest on Cassia County School Days, don't forget Patterson's Electronics. Oh, my goodness. When it comes to electronics, look no further. I mean, whether you need the power cords or the monster cables, or you need a brand new TV, whether it's a Samsung, Sony, Toshiba, LG TV, home theater systems, video surveillance cameras, woo, the list keeps going on and on, with really nice people serving you. Curtis and Lorena at 421 East Main in Burley. The number to call, 678-6997. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Patterson's Electronics in Burley. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and it's time for Cassia County School Days, and we're going to be talking to a Cassia Teacher of the Year. I wished I had a trumpet section. Da-dum-da-dum! Jennifer Schaefer, good morning and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How do you feel being named Cassia Teacher of the Year?
Oh, I'm very honored to represent Burley Junior High School, and it's exciting.
Well, you know, I read a little bit about you in a bio, and it was kind of interesting that when you left high school, you really didn't jump right into the college mode, did you?
I didn't. I struggled in high school, and going to college was the last thing that I wanted to do.
When you say you struggled in high school, did you not like high school? Maybe you were like me. I was bored, and if it wasn't anything to do with athletics, I really didn't want to do anything. Give us your circumstances.
I struggled with anxiety, and my freshman year, I passed PE and my religious class, and so I was placed in special education myself, and I struggled. I struggled to graduate. I took summer school. I had to redo all my classes to get my credits, and I worked hard, and it wasn't easy.
Well, what was the motivating force or the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, that all of a sudden you said to yourself, Jennifer, we're going back to college?
I decided to go back. I started as a paraeducator in 2000, and I fell in love with special education, and I thought, you know what, I can do this. And I learned how to deal with my anxiety, and I was able to put that energy into going to school. And crazy enough, if you believe it, I made the dean's list several times while in college.
I do believe it, because you're a lady that I very much respect. Why special education? Did you feel a bond there that you could help and really motivate these kids?
I did, and I hope that I can inspire them when I hear kids talk about how they don't feel like they can do anything because they're in special ed and they don't feel like they can reach their dreams. I don't hesitate to share my story, and I hope it inspires them to go for it, to set high dreams and to reach it.
Absolutely. How would you define special education and the students? I mean, give us some definitive clarification there. How would you define it?
Special education is put forth to make an individual learning plan for a student with a disability, and they receive accommodations such as, reading things out loud there's so many things. It's individualized for each student. And, it's not a bad thing. And I hope that I represent that. And,
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Have a fair shot at education to get what they need. My daughter has a disability with vision, and so she has accommodations for large print, and it's made all the difference in the world for her.
Is it tougher, I'll use that word tougher, to teach in special education because of the varied and different personalities and, let's be honest, problems than it would be to be in a regular class, an English class or a history class? Tell us what differences you have to overcome.
I teach life skills, and so I teach students with a wide range of abilities, and it is difficult some days, I won't lie. And the amount of paperwork is, we won't even go there. But I tell my boss all the time that this is my dream job, and I say that. I smile every day. These kids teach me more than I could ever dream of teaching them, and it's so rewarding.
Oh, I can tell it in your voice. Jennifer, I would imagine that for all aspects of education, over the last 2 months, it's really been hard. Tell us about how you've had to teach in the last 2 months.
Oh, my gosh. I never, ever dreamed that I would be teaching special education over the computer. But here I am, and I have to say that my students have been rock stars. They have great attitudes, and they're doing their best. And I also would like to shout out to my colleagues. I don't think teachers have ever worked better and put in as much effort as we have in the last 2 months. And we want what's best for kids. We're here for kids, and we're making history. And I am proud to be an educator at this time.
There wasn't any prerequisite. There wasn't any manual on what to do, how to do in these circumstances. And if you'll pardon the expression, you folks had to literally fly by the seat of your pants, didn't you?
We did. There was no time to adapt, prepare. We jumped in, and, this has been an opportunity for educators to grow and learn as well. And one thing that is exciting when I hear my colleagues talk about different resources that they've found and that they plan to use once we're back into the classroom again.
So when you had this adversity come up, there's still some goodness that's going to come out of this, and maybe even some special learning tools that you can utilize in the future. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Expand on that just a little bit if you could. I've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Go ahead.
Some teachers were not familiar with Google Classroom, and we're utilizing that. We have learned different resources available. I have started to use what's called as boom cards, and I'm able to assign those to my students, and I get an instant report of how they did on those. They're kind of like flashcards, and they're able to answer those. Mm-hmm. There are so many resources out there. I've even become my own YouTube star.
Oh, my.
For my students. I've learned how to make YouTube videos for them and, to keep them engaged. And it's exciting to be able to use all this technology that we're using. I have so many plans to incorporate it into my classroom once we start back into school.
Jennifer, let me ask you go ahead. I'm sorry, we had a little delay there. I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it's been a challenge, but at the same time, what an opportunity I've had to be able to research other resources out there that I wasn't using before.
Okay. What about the kids? Give me a quick perspective. When all this adversity started 2 months ago and it was cast upon everybody, what about the kids' attitudes? At first, was it kind of doom and gloom and down and depressed, and now what is it?
Well, at first, we just thought we would have an extra week at spring break and we'd be back. And I can speak for my daughter, who, when we got told that we wouldn't be back this year, she was devastated. She wants to be back in school, but she tries hard. She's doing her classes online, and I'm proud of her. I think all the kids want to be back at school, and my heart goes out especially to the seniors this year who got the end to their senior year differently than they expected.
And that is so sad, but yet when they have people like you, I mean, I'm just sitting here listening to the highlights and the enthusiasm when you talk about what you're doing as a teacher and your students. Man, that's positive. I just salute you as being selected as Cassia Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Schaefer. Is there anything you want to say and feature before we leave?
I just want to tell my students, give them a shout-out, because I know they're listening today. You guys are awesome. I'm proud of you. I love and miss you all. Thanks, you guys.
Jennifer, please do me a favor and come back in the future. You are outstanding. Jennifer Schaefer, Cassia Teacher of the Year. God bless you, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. What a nice story about a very nice lady and how she is helping and serving her students. Oh, my goodness. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jennifer Schaefer, Cassia Teacher of the Year. Wow. Don't forget, on Mondays, we have, of course, at 10:30, Vicky's Country Garden. The lovely Miss Vicky gets on the program with us and helps our gardens grow, as a matter of fact. Vicky's Country Garden, 185 South, 600 West of Paul, and the lovely Miss Vicky. And if you want to call and find out more information, call them at 438-5663. That is Mondays at 10:30 right here on Zeb at the Ranch. A big shout out before we go to our next guest, and that goes to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. My goodness, they're having a pre-Memorial Day sale. Yes, they are. Listen to this. They've got living room sofa love sets that were $12.28, now just $5.99. Whoa! Wow! Save money, I'm telling you. Listen to this. They've got the mattresses on sale. They have a Cloud9 mattress, queen mattress, that was $3.99, just $199. Those are just two instances of how you can save money and be more comfortable and also beautify your home. Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More with their pre-Memorial Day. I'm going to bit my tongue again. Pre-Memorial Day sale at 459 Overland in Burley, and the number to call 878-2341. They're open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturdays 10 to 5. Don't forget, stop in and see Jeff and the crew today at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Wonderful people. Nice people. And when we talk about nice people, let's move on over to Barry Equipment and Rental. And hello, Josh. How are you?
Good. How are you, Zeb?
Not too bad. Well, now, what's your official title over there? I mean, we got to have a title. What is it, Josh?
I'm the new branch manager over here.
So you the man.
I'm the man.
You're the man. All right, Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. 3 locations, 159 West Highway 30 where you are at, and then also 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin and the Napa location. Okay, you're the manager. Tell us what you want to have everybody know about Berry Equipment and Rental.
Well, we've got a couple specials going on right now. Got a weekend rental rate that we are doing. Basically, you pick up a machine or whatever you're renting, pick it up on Friday night, and bring it back Monday morning. You only get charged for one day, so got all Saturday and all Sunday, but just you're only paying that one day price.
Okay, and how long is that going to last?
It's kind of just our standard procedure. So, but it's something people don't know. They just see we're not open on Saturday, and they kind of puts them off a little bit, but. With everything not being open Saturday, that's what we got.
Okay. So they can come in on Friday, and help me if I'm wrong, and they can get the equipment they need, and they don't have to have it back until Monday, right?
Right, yep, Monday morning, as long as it's back by then, and they're just paying that one-day price.
Oh, my goodness, they better check on that right away. Well, tell us a little bit about the equipment that's available over there and the jobs that can be accomplished. Tell us a little synopsis of what you offer.
So we offer a full line of Bobcat compact equipment, skid steers, track loaders, excavators. Any kind of landscaping project you're doing, if you're starting a new yard, something like that, putting in a new septic system even. You're able to do all kinds of dirt work like that. Then also do offer some as far as lawn and garden equipment, putting in a garden, able to rototill that up, taking out grass. We got sod cutters. Kind of just any kind of outdoor project you got, we can usually cover you.
Okay. Now, you get the guy like me that really isn't machine operating normal. As a matter of fact, I'm abnormal. I have a hard time running anything sometimes. And they don't know how to run a certain thing like a Bobcat or whatever. Who's going to teach them?
Got our yard guys out here. All of them are they're fairly experienced in them, and they're able, they know all the different features and options on each machine, and that way before you take off with the machine, they're able to run you through it, let you know how to run it, the safety features that are offered on it, and then the proper procedure for loading and unloading it, and all that good stuff to keep you safe while you're running it.
Okay. What about the plans that are available for leasing and financing? Or is it real difficult? Does it take like 30 days, or what's going on here?
Nope. So actually, Bobcat has some special financing options. With all the virus stuff going on and all that, they're offering no payments for 90 days on Bobcats under the financing. And then under their tractors, if you were to go with the cash option, they're doing free loaders on tractors if you pay cash.
Okay. So you're the new manager. You're the one that gets there first in the morning and puts the coffee pot on, turns the key in the door, and says, "Come on in," right?
Well, I'm the opposite. I get here a little later and I close her down.
Okay. What are the hours that you're open for the public?
We're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night.
And is there a special number they can call and find out, instead of driving over there, can they find out what you got and maybe what they need?
Yeah. You can call us down here at 208-678-7368. We also do have our website on there, which has a spot in it. You can put in a request for a quote on different machines that are listed on there.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we just had a chance to talk to the manager over at the Burley location, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, Josh, with Berry Equipment and Rental, with locations also in Twin Falls and Napa. Josh, is there anything else you want us to know?
I think that's about it.
Well, you did a great job, and please know now that you did a good job, we're going to call you back and have you do it again in the future.
All right. righty. Sounds good.
All right, Josh. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. With Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts, Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. Don't forget, in about exactly an hour from now, we're all going to be over at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, for the first parking lot picnic from 11:30 to 1. Come on in. I'll be driving in, honking my horn at all of you. We're going to have a good time. Don't forget, Denny's Restaurant parking lot picnic today at 11:30 to 1. We are going to send this over to Wheels right now, and let's see, what else have I got to tell you? Oh, before I do that, Wheels, hang on, I almost forgot. Got to mention, everybody, Doug's Alternator and Starter Repair. It is for sale. Yep, the whole business, the whole shebang, the building, and then all the stuff on the inside. I mean, it's a turnkey business opportunity ready for you. You better check it out. Super business opportunity. Doug's Alternator and Starter Repair at 635 21st Street in Heyburn. And the numbers to call and find out more, 878-4991 or 431-5282. This is, like I said, a turnkey operation, and Doug will train the new buyer the entirety of the business. Can't beat that. Doug's Alternator and Starter Repair for sale, 635 21st Street in Heyburn. Now, Wheels, it's all yours.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to our last segment this morning, an abbreviated segment, and we're going to get right to the program. We have with us retired Navy SEAL and New York Times best-selling author. He's been on our program before talking about his book called The Trident. Here he is back to talk about this book, Overcome, Crush Adversity with the Leadership Techniques of America's Toughest Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, retired Navy SEAL Jason Redmond. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Zeb, what's going on? Honored to be here, honored to be on.
Well, it's nice to have you back, and you have been busy at the old typewriter because it seems like you are now writing excellent books. Tell us a little bit about this book. Give us a thumbnail sketch about the book titled Overcome.
So, absolutely, Zeb. So now there's no better time for a book than this. And really how it came to be is my first book, The Trident, which became a New York Times bestseller. A lot of people asked me about that book. They said, Jay, it's an amazing story. You overcame a leadership failure, and then you overcame grievous injury. But how did you do that? Can you give us a step-by-step process? And I'll be honest, I couldn't answer that question in a definitive way to give people a step-by-step process yet. So over the last 6 years since The Trident came out, like you said, I have been writing and writing, and that is what Overcome is. Overcome is the answer to that question. And it boils down to this, that I survived a pretty vicious enemy ambush on the battlefields of Iraq. And we have a saying in the military that when you are in the middle of an ambush, when you've been attacked, you are on the X. Any point of incident, any point of attack, any point of an ambush, we call that the X. And how my team and I survived that night was we got off the X as quickly as we could. And fast forward over the last, 12 years since my injury, as I worked with both individuals, wounded warriors who have been through a major incident, other individuals I've met that have been through a traumatic event, or even companies that are trying to navigate crisis, failure, or change. Everybody gets on the X, and everybody gets stuck and overwhelmed and feels this massive amount of stress. But if you can learn to build this overcome mindset and get off the X as quickly as possible, you will set yourself up for so much greater success than most people and most companies that have a crisis and dwell on the negativity, dwell on what they've lost, dwell on all their problems, instead of immediately looking at, okay, how do we move forward and how do we get out of this crisis?
Jason,
that's really what the book is about. It is a step-by-step process to do that.
Jason, I'm sitting here thinking about your book, and I haven't had the chance to read it yet, but I'm sitting here thinking about the book is very, very appropriate for these times. People are suffering. People are in despair. People are absolutely stressed out about whether their business and their family is going to survive the way it should be. They're trying to put bread on the table. I'll bet this book really has some insight and uplifting for them.
Seb, you're dead on. It absolutely does. And we broke the book into 4 parts. And the first part of the book is what do I do if I am in a crisis, or what I like to call them life ambushes. A lot of people will say to me, Jay, I can't compare myself to you. I can't imagine these bullets and bombs going off. But the reality is, when you are in a life ambush, and I define a life ambush as anything that creates mental, emotional, physical, or even financial impact on you or your family. So right now, we are in a major life ambush. This pandemic is causing a life ambush. And it may not be actual bullets and bombs on the battlefield, but they are the bullets and bombs of life. There are people right now that are tremendously impacted, that their financial well-being has been taken away, their structure has been taken away, their ability to move forward in their lives. Record unemployment, record amount of people that are going to food banks to get food. That is a life ambush. And in this book, we teach people, okay, when you're in a crisis like this, here's a step-by-step process to do it. We call it the REACT methodology. You have to react to overcome and get off that X. And then from there, we move forward. The second part of the book is how do we lead ourselves? The SEAL teams are really good at what we do, not only because we've been trained that way, but the other thing is we're very proactive in our thinking. And we hope for the best, but we plan and train for the absolute worst. So we're very proactive in how we deal with and expect worst-case scenarios. And if you can live your life that way, if you can train yourself that way, it helps you to be so much better. So I teach something called the Pentagon of Peak Performance. That's the second part of the book, how we lead ourselves. The third part of the book is how do we lead others. When we're in a life ambush, we're not in it alone. Right now, there are business leaders, there are moms and dads who are struggling with, hey, how do I maintain positivity and still motivate and inspire my kids to do well in school? How do I inspire my staff who are, now we're not working together, we're all over the place, and they're having to work from home. How do I keep them motivated and productive? So the third part of the book is how do we lead others, and then the last part is how do we lead always? I tell people this pandemic is not going to be the last life ambush you go through. We surveyed a whole bunch of people, and the average person out there will go through five major life ambushes in their lifetime. So whether it's the loss of a job, whether it's the loss of a family member, whether it's life-threatening illness, you're going to go through 5. So this won't be the last one. So how do we lead always to make sure we maintain that proactive mindset, that positive mindset, so we're ready for future ones that are coming?
Let me ask you this, Jason, and maybe I'm off track on this, but correct me if I am. But I would say that as a nation, since maybe 30, 40 years ago, we've kind of lost our mental toughness in this country. I think back at the hardships that my mother and father and my grandparents went through, and it seems like we've become a softer nation. Does that play a lot in the problems of today? We're not as tough as we used to be?
Jeb, you are spot on. I actually write about this in the book, that this nation, America, was founded on grit and resiliency. I mean, if you look at, we were just a melting pot from all across the world that came here with these hopes of the American dream. But it wasn't handed to them. It was earned through super hard work and labor. And you look at how we grew as a nation, moving into the industrial age, where then we were working in factories and we were building stuff. And now we've gotten into the technological age, the IT age. And I think what's happening is those days of where the young Americans grew up and, they had to work very hard physical labor, I think forged an overcome mindset. These days, that doesn't happen naturally. You actually have to get out and do hard things in order to build an overcome mindset. And if you are not surrounded with people who are pushing you to do hard things, it's natural just to be soft and to not have that natural overcome mindset. But the good news is you can build it. It's never too late to build an overcome mindset. You know, I have a lot of people say to me, oh, well, you're a Navy SEAL. I can't compare myself to you. Well, that's not true. These principles apply to anybody. They're human principles. And, you know, there are a lot of things you can do in your life to build and overcome mindset. I'll be honest, right now, this pandemic is an amazing time to build and overcome mindset. An overcome mindset is built during hardship. It is choosing positivity. It is the ability to drive forward. It is the ability to still be productive despite being uncomfortable. And that's what this produces. And, you know, it's not too late for anybody. You can do this right now and continue to move the needle in your life.
I love it. And one quick question. I'm almost out of time in this segment, Jason, but the incorporation of these values and these ideas into our education system, how do we go about doing that?
I think the Department of Education should buy Overcome and give it to every school in America. No, you know what, Jeff? Seriously, though, it really has to start with leadership. And it needs to start with leadership in the home. And I don't care if you're a single parent right now, if you're out there listening, whether you're a two-parent home or you're a single-parent home or you're a business, it starts with leadership. You've got to encourage your people to be a little more resilient, but give them the tools. It's a two-sided coin. The leader can't tell people to be resilient and then they are not resilient. That's why the book follows the process I talk about. You first have to lead yourself. You have to set the example. Then we have to lead others. Then we have to lead always and maintain it. So it's going to start at the top. It's going to start with leaders within their families and companies encouraging. And I think we're going to have to bring back the grit and resiliency. That's what I talk about in this book. This pandemic is a great opportunity for that to happen.
Absolutely. Man, I'm excited. I got to get a copy of this book. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason, where can you tell my audience to find the book called Overcome?
Jeff, thank you. Yes, it's at all major bookstores, so you can get it on Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. If you are a fan of the electronic version, you can get it on Kindle. You can get it through the iTunes bookstore. If you like the audio version, I actually had the honor of reading the audio, and I've been getting amazing feedback on that. And if you would like a signed copy of the book, go to my website, jasonredman.com. You can learn all about me, get all my socials, and you can go to the store to get a signed copy of the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, retired Navy SEAL and wounded warrior Jason Redman with his book, Overcome, Crush Adversity with the Leadership Techniques of America's Toughest Warriors. I got to get the book. I've got to have you back. Thanks, Jason. God bless you, man. Thanks so much.
Jeb, you too, and everybody out there. Get off that X.
All right, sir. Thank you. Very inspiring individual, Jason Redman, with his book called Overcome. And I'm going to get it, read it, have him back on the program. Thank you very much. Whoa, I got to remind you, too, about our friends at Edith's Cafe. Yes, sirree, Bobby, at 144 East Highway 81 in Burley. Delicious food, nice people. Absolutely. They're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 9. And they've got curb service, call-in orders. My goodness, they do catering. They've got a menu of great eating choices. You're just going to love the food and the very nice people. Don't forget, too, that they have a food trailer over at 2500 Washington across from Fabrical, and they're serving food to all the truckers that head on down that road of 2500 Washington. These are great people at Edith's Cafe, and I'm very fortunate to have them on the program. Once again, they're located right across from the Burley Golf Course, 144 East Highway 81 in Burley. Number to call, 878-2248. Don't forget, the great food and the great people at Edith's Cafe. Want to also give a weather forecast right now, and that's brought to you by Scarro's Meats. Don Scarrow and the crew at 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. You can go to their website, and boy, can you see all the delicious meats, the hams and the tri-tips and the pork ribs, and, of course, all the different bacons and sausages and the bratwurst. Oh, we're coming into where there's going to be gathering time, families and Memorial Day, 4th of July, everything. You better check it out today. Scarro's Meats in Jerome, 331 North Road, and the number 324-7657. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
A slight storm system moving through today. Here's a look at your weather forecast. We are expecting a 40% chance of showers, mostly in the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of a breeze as well. expecting a high of 62. Tonight, 40% chance of showers in the early evening hours, mostly cloudy skies, with a low of 41. Tomorrow we will see some sunshine. Winds picking up just a little bit, high of 63 with an overnight low of 37 by Saturday. Mostly sunny, mid-70s, and then possibly 82 for Sunday. That's a look at your weather for Zeb Duran.
Thank you, Gina, and brought to everybody by Scarrows Meats. Don Scarrow and his excellent staff, 331 North Road, Jerome, 324-7657. They are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm on the road. I'm headed to Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner at 611 North Overland in Burley for the parking lot picnic from 11:30 to 1. Come on down, and we'll see you there. Honk your horn when you come on in, by golly. We're going to wrap it up by saying the way things were, the way things ought to be. And the 4 words that mean the most to us, in God we trust. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay well. See you Monday at 8:06. Wheels, behave yourself.